Welcome back. Agenda-driven judge Naida Samaj cutting 16-year-old teen rapper Carmen Williams loose after shooting NYPD officer Kasim Pennon. This isn't the first time, though. Carmen has been apprehended, and many are blaming Samaj's lenient rulings as part of the reason crime is spiraling out of control in the Big Apple. Joining us now to discuss, Joe Borelli. Joe, how did this person become a judge in the first place if she's an activist in reality?
Well, here in New York City, for the most part, the Democratic Party essentially picks and nominates, and they walk into judgeships in each of the 5 boroughs. It's only actually where I'm from on Staten Island that there are even competitive races for judge. But this judge was probably, I would err on the side of her just being appointed by the local Democratic Party.
So she's not alone in the system. There are a lot of judges like her.
No, and in this case, you have sort of the exacta box of a state with remarkably lenient laws on criminal defendants and activist woke judges who don't care about crime victims, whether they be the public, whether they be police officers, whether they be an 11-year-old girl just last week.
Right.
She only cares about advancing the woke progressive agenda that lets punks like this. Make no mistake, this guy was on probation from when he was 14 years old for gun possession. And the system lets people like him go.
Let's talk about him. He's a known gang member. He actually fought with a cop. That's how the gun ultimately went off. The judge believed the teen over the cop, despite the fact that there was body cam footage of what was happening. When you look at this on the whole, what kind of message does this send to either the bad guy or the person who's contemplating being a bad guy?
This sends a message that there are fundamentally no consequences in New York City. Now, I know the Bronx DA. She is one of these let-em-loose district attorneys. The fact that she, the district attorney, even wanted to bring charges against this person proves that this person was no good actor. This was a bad guy. You have these judges who are allowed to manipulate the law in such a way where they can spring these people through. And you mentioned body cam. The police and the public support body cameras for just these circumstances. If she had any courage, this judge, she would release the body cam footage so we could all judge her and how she treated this person who was probably going to make someone else a victim that night.
They only seem to release the body cam footage when it's anti-cop. When it's pro-cop, oh, we need to keep that close to the vest, which is just wrong in and of itself. It needs to be released all the time so we can make our own determinations, like you said. Joe, going forward, what chance does New York City have of recovering, of coming back, if judges like this are putting bad guys back on the street so nonchalantly?
Well, it's scary because a police officer now has to be afraid of so many things, danger, basically from suspects. But now they have to ask themselves, what is it even worth? This is a cop, and you don't have to be Dick Tracy to figure out who has the guns in a community. You could ask the moms and the grandmas. This cop identified someone, a known person with guns on a block with people with guns. He identified this suspect. He apprehended him. He did his job. And at the end of the day, after getting shot, there's no consequences. The scary part for me is when cops start questioning whether it's worth intervening in situations like this.
Broadening this out to the populace in general. We've had so many segments, some of which with you, talking about how the New Yorker doesn't want to live here anymore. They're fleeing. They're getting out of here. We're talking hard New Yorkers who've been here their entire lives. They're scared. We had a guy who was shot and killed this weekend on a subway for no apparent reason. What if you're a tourist? Because it's May. Tourist season's definitely approaching. Would you come here?
Look, it's tough to say that, right? Things have gotten a little better. There's no question about that. The city is starting to recover from the pandemic. Things are looking up. And Mayor Adams, frankly, is putting more cops on the street and more units like this particular cop was in. But at the end of the day, if you can't guarantee consequences for criminal actions, whether they're someone with a gun or whether they're the people who are picking pockets in Times Square or robbing grocery stores and things like that, then no, tourists probably shouldn't be able to come. Probably shouldn't want to come if they have any danger of themselves.
That's sad. Joe Borelli, great to have you here as always, my friend. Always enjoy it.
Thank you.